the business model of a football club. Football. It's the beautiful game we all love. But have you ever wondered how your favorite club operates off the pitch? In this video, we're diving deep into the business model of a football club. From how clubs make money to the financial challenges they face, and even exploring how they stay competitive while managing their budgets. So, whether you're a die-hard fan or just curious about the economics of football, stick around because there's a lot to unpack. Introduction to the business of football. Football clubs today are not just sporting entities. They're massive businesses. Think about it. Clubs like Manchester United or Real Madrid aren't just competing for trophies. They're competing for global market share, brand value, and fans. The modern football business model is a hybrid. On one hand, clubs are deeply rooted in tradition and local communities. On the other hand, they operate as commercial powerhouses. Their goal? Balancing success on the pitch with financial growth and sustainability. Let's take a quick look at two examples to set the stage. FC Barcelona, a club historically known for its "Més que un club" philosophy. But in recent years, they've faced financial crises despite global fame. Bayern Munich, widely considered a financially stable club, balancing member ownership and consistent success. What makes these clubs tick? To answer that, we need to break down their revenue streams, core revenue streams. So, how do football clubs make money? Football clubs primarily generate income through three major revenue streams: matchday revenue, broadcasting rights, and commercial deals. But let's not stop there. We'll also touch on emerging income sources redefining how clubs stay profitable. Let's explore these in detail. First up, matchday revenue. This includes everything from ticket sales to VIP hospitality packages. Imagine a packed Emirates Stadium on a game day. Arsenal alone pulls in millions from every home match, thanks to their ticket pricing strategy, premium lounges, and on-site concessions like food, drinks, and merchandise stalls. But here's the thing. Not all clubs are created equal when it comes to matchday revenue. Stadium size and infrastructure play a critical role. For instance, Real Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu or Barcelona's Camp Nou, with capacities exceeding 80,000, have a massive edge over clubs with smaller stadiums like Bournemouth's Vitality Stadium, which holds just over 11,000 fans. Bigger venues mean more seats to sell, more VIP experiences, and more concessions. In 2023, matchday revenue typically accounted for around 15 to 25% of total income for major clubs like Manchester United and Juventus. However, for smaller clubs without lucrative broadcasting or commercial deals, this figure could climb to 30 to 40%, underscoring how much they rely on their loyal home fans. But let's not forget the downsides. Matchday revenue is highly inconsistent. It depends on factors like team performance, stadium renovations, and even global events like the pandemic, which brought the stream to a grinding halt in 2020. Next up, broadcasting rights. This is the big one, the financial juggernaut for most top-tier clubs. In many cases, broadcasting revenue surpasses all other income streams combined. Take the Premier League as an example. Between 2022 and 2025, the league negotiated TV rights deals worth a jaw-dropping $10 billion globally. Here's how it works. A portion of this revenue is split equally among all 20 teams, ensuring even smaller clubs get a fair share. But there's a performance-based twist. The better a team performs, e.g., finishing higher in the league table, the bigger their cut of the prize pool. For clubs like Liverpool and Manchester City, who regularly feature in televised marquee matches, the financial rewards are massive. For instance, Liverpool earned over $200 million from broadcasting revenue during their title-winning season. But there's a darker side: relegation. For clubs relegated to lower divisions, losing access to this broadcasting revenue can spell financial disaster. The term relegation battle isn't just about pride or staying competitive. It's a fight for survival. That's why leagues like the Premier League offer parachute payments to soften the blow. But even those are often not enough to prevent financial ruin for some clubs. Lastly, we have commercial revenue. This encompasses sponsorship deals, merchandising, and licensing agreements. For example, Manchester United's iconic partnership with Adidas generates $97 million annually. But sponsorships aren't limited to kits. Stadium naming rights, sleeve sponsors, and even training ground partnerships bring in millions. Manchester City's Etihad Stadium deal is a perfect example, raking in $20 million annually. Merchandising is another goldmine. Picture fans buying jerseys, scarves, caps, and mugs worldwide. Clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid have mastered the art of turning their global fan bases into massive merchandising empires. generating hundreds of millions annually. And let's not overlook licensing deals, where clubs license their logos or branding to third parties for everything from video games to apparel lines. And then we have emerging revenue streams. The digital revolution is changing the game. Clubs are increasingly tapping into new technologies, such as fan tokens and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. These innovations allow fans to engage with their clubs like never before, voting on minor decisions or owning digital collectibles. In 2023, Paris Saint-Germain's fan token sales alone generated over $200 million. Another trend is global preseason tours, particularly in markets like Asia and the United States. Clubs aren't just playing football, they're building brands and tapping into untapped fan bases. These tours, along with streaming partnerships, are helping clubs diversify their revenue streams even further. So there you have it, football clubs' core revenue streams. Matchday income, broadcasting rights, and commercial deals form the backbone of their business model. But the story doesn't end there. In the next section, we'll unpack the economics of football, exploring the high-stakes world of player transfers, eye-watering wage bills, and the impact of financial fair play regulations. Stick around because it's about to get even more fascinating. Football economics. Let's talk about football economics, the lifeblood of every decision a football club makes. Whether it's signing a star player, setting ticket prices, or investing in infrastructure, football is just as much about crunching numbers as scoring goals. Transfers are arguably the most visible and exciting aspect of football economics. Fans cheer when their clubs make blockbuster signings, but these deals often come with jaw-dropping price tags that can make or break a club's finances. Let's take a closer look. Premier League clubs spent a record-breaking €2.8 billion in the 2023 summer transfer window alone. To put that into perspective, that's more than the annual GDP of several small countries. But here's the kicker, transfer fees are just the tip of the iceberg. Once a player is signed, their wages often become an even bigger burden on the club's budget. Take Paris Saint-Germain as an example. At one point, they were juggling the astronomical salaries of Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. In fact, player wages ate up such a significant portion of their revenue that UEFA had to step in with financial guidelines. UEFA recommends clubs keep their wage-to-revenue ratio below 70%, but many clubs struggle to stick to this, jeopardizing their financial stability. PSG's Galactico approach is glamorous, but it's a high-risk strategy that only works for clubs with deep pockets or substantial financial backing. Now, what happens when clubs don't get the balance right? Let's talk about FC Barcelona, a case study in financial overreach. At one point, Barcelona was at the pinnacle of football, but excessive spending on underperforming stars like Griezmann and Coutinho, combined with the pandemic, brought them to their knees. To cover their losses, the club had to make desperate moves, including selling off future broadcasting rights just to stay afloat. Imagine selling tomorrow to pay for today. That's the reality some clubs face when they gamble big and lose. Smart spending, a model for success. Contrast this with Bayern Munich, a club that's made financial stability an art form. Unlike many of their competitors, Bayern rarely overspend on players, opting instead for strategic, affordable signings. This conservative approach ensures they remain profitable while consistently competing at the highest level. In 2023, Bayern reported one of the healthiest financial statements in European football, proving that you can succeed without breaking the bank. But let's be honest, profitability isn't exactly a priority for most football clubs. Why? Because the stakes are incredibly high. Fans demand trophies, not balance sheets, which pushes clubs to reinvest every euro they earn into players, facilities, and youth development. Winning on the pitch often takes precedence over financial prudence. The pandemic, however, was a wake-up call. With empty stadiums and no matchday revenue, clubs faced an existential crisis. Some, like Tottenham Hotspur, got creative by hosting non-football events like concerts in their state-of-the-art stadiums to stay afloat. Others relied on government bailouts or player sales to plug the gaps. So, football economics is all about finding balance. Spend too little and you risk falling behind your competitors. Spend too much and you could end up in financial ruin like Barcelona. It's a delicate tightrope that clubs walk every season. Coming up next, we'll dive into the strategies that have helped some clubs thrive while others flounder. From cutting-edge analytics to building sustainable youth systems, we'll uncover the secrets behind football's winners and survivors. Stick around. It's about to get even more fascinating. Case studies in football finance. Football finance isn't just about making money. It's about how clubs spend, save, and grow their resources. Let's dive into 3 fascinating case studies that showcase the variety of strategies in football business models. These examples reveal the highs, lows, and everything in between. First on our list is Manchester United, a club synonymous with commercialization. With over 1 billion fans worldwide, United has transformed its massive following into a revenue-generating machine. Their sponsorship portfolio reads like a who's who of global brands: Adidas, TeamViewer, and countless regional partnerships. In 2023 alone, the club generated an eye-watering revenue of €650 million, a significant portion of which came from sponsorships and merchandise sales. But here's the paradox. While their finances shine, their on-field performances have dimmed. United hasn't consistently competed for major titles in years, and this disconnect is starting to impact their brand. Fans are growing restless, and the Glazer family's ownership has been under constant fire. The criticism isn't just about results. It's about a perceived lack of reinvestment into the team and facilities. Despite these challenges, United remains a financial powerhouse, proving that even in times of turmoil, a strong global brand can keep the cash flowing. Next, let's head to Germany and talk about Bayern Munich. Bayern operates under a completely different model compared to most elite clubs. They're member-owned, meaning fans hold a significant stake in the club. This structure doesn't just encourage transparency, it enforces financial discipline. Every euro spent is carefully considered, ensuring long-term stability. Bayern's philosophy is simple but effective. Avoid overspending, focus on youth development, and invest in strategic signings. And it works. Unlike some clubs that splurge on flashy transfers, Bayern consistently fields competitive teams without breaking the bank. For example, in 2023, they maintained profitability while competing in both the Bundesliga and Champions League. Their approach has made them a beacon of financial sustainability in football, but don't mistake their prudence for a lack of ambition. Bayern's ability to dominate domestically while challenging in Europe proves that you don't need to sacrifice financial stability for sporting success. Their secret? Strategic planning and a relentless focus on excellence, both on and off the pitch. Finally, let's talk about FC Barcelona, a club that embodies both the best and worst of football finance. For years, Barcelona was the gold standard. They boasted the likes of Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta while breaking records for revenue and fan engagement. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. Reckless spending on transfers like Griezmann and Coutinho, combined with skyrocketing wages, pushed Barcelona into a financial crisis. By 2022, the club was drowning in debt, and the COVID-19 pandemic only made things worse by wiping out Matchday revenue. So what did they do? They got creative, very creative. The club sold a portion of their future broadcasting rights to raise immediate cash, an innovative but risky move. While this gamble stabilized the club for now, it raises questions about long-term sustainability. Barcelona's story is a stark reminder of what happens when ambition outpaces financial prudence. Their situation is a balancing act. One wrong move could either reignite their dominance or deepen their financial woes. The big takeaway: these case studies show us that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to football finance. Each club operates in its unique context, shaped by its history, fan base, and ambitions. Manchester United thrives on its global brand, Bayern Munich sets the standard for sustainability, and Barcelona demonstrates both the rewards and risks of bold financial moves. Up next, we'll explore the challenges facing the football business model today: financial fair play, globalization, and the rise of new technologies. You don't want to miss it. Challenges in the football business model. Now that we've explored how football clubs generate revenue and operate, let's peel back the curtain on the challenges they face. Because while football is a game of passion, running a club is a high-stakes balancing act. A game of strategy, survival, and navigating an ever-changing landscape. First up, let's talk about financial fair play, FFP. UEFA's effort to keep clubs from spending themselves into oblivion. The principle is straightforward. Clubs can't spend more than they earn. Sounds fair, right? But in reality, it's a lot more complicated. Clubs with deep-pocketed owners, like Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain, often find creative ways to comply with FFP. For example, inflated sponsorship deals, where companies closely tied to the club's owners pour in millions, allow them to stretch their spending limits. It's a financial chess game with the richest clubs playing several moves ahead. On the other hand, smaller clubs often see FFP as a glass ceiling. While it aims to create a level playing field, critics argue it does the opposite, protecting the dominance of established giants. Without the financial flexibility to invest heavily, smaller clubs find it nearly impossible to break into the elite ranks, widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Next is globalization, a double-edged sword for football clubs. For powerhouses like Real Madrid and Liverpool, globalization has been a boon. Massive global fan bases mean more merchandise sales, bigger sponsorships, and packed stadiums for pre-season tours in Asia or the US. But here's the flip side. Smaller clubs struggle to get a piece of that global pie. Competing for international attention against iconic brands is like a local band trying to outshine the Beatles. And while pre-season tours rake in cash for the big clubs, they can disrupt team preparation, leaving coaches frustrated and fans questioning whether the commercial appeal is worth it. It's a tug-of-war between tradition and revenue. Technology is another mixed bag. Sure, innovations like AI-driven scouting and blockchain fan tokens offer exciting opportunities, but they're also fraught with challenges. Take NFTs, for example. Some clubs see them as a way to engage younger fans and tap into the crypto-savvy demographic. Others, not so much. Critics argue that NFTs are speculative, risky, and alienating to traditional fans who just want to watch the game. And let's not forget the backlash clubs face when new technologies don't deliver the promised value. Navigating this digital frontier is like playing a high-stakes game of Monopoly. Exciting for those who succeed but risky for those who miscalculate. Finally, let's talk about the competitive gap, the growing divide between football's elite and everyone else. In leagues like the Premier League, the financial dominance of the top 6 clubs creates a ripple effect. These clubs attract the lion's share of sponsorship deals, command higher broadcast revenues, and dominate player recruitment. For smaller clubs, it's a vicious cycle. Limited financial resources mean fewer top-tier players, fewer trophies, and less revenue. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a mid-table club on a global preseason tour? The system reinforces itself, making it harder and harder for underdogs to rise. So, as you can see, running a football club isn't just about signing players or winning matches. It's about navigating a labyrinth of financial regulations, leveraging technology without alienating fans, and competing in an increasingly uneven playing field. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The challenges facing modern football clubs aren't going away anytime soon, and how clubs adapt will shape the sport's future. Up next, we'll explore how some clubs are innovating their way out of these challenges and redefining success in football, the future of football business. With all these challenges on the horizon, what does the future hold for the business of football? Let's look at the trends and innovations shaping the beautiful game in the years to come. Sustainability is no longer just a buzzword, it's a necessity. Clubs are beginning to embrace eco-friendly practices, recognizing their responsibility to the environment and their fans. Take Forest Green Rovers, for example. Dubbed the world's first carbon-neutral football club, they've set the gold standard for sustainability in sports. From solar-powered stadiums to vegan matchday menus, they've proven that football can lead the charge in environmental responsibility. Even major clubs are stepping up. Tottenham Hotspur's stadium, one of the most advanced in the world, was designed with sustainability in mind, including zero-waste initiatives and rainwater harvesting systems. The future? We might see more clubs follow suit, integrating green energy solutions into their operations. Beyond stadiums, sustainability extends to the fans. Imagine ticket incentives for using public transport or discounts for fans who recycle. Football could inspire millions to adopt greener lifestyles. The digital revolution, from the metaverse to blockchain. Technology is transforming the fan experience and opening up entirely new revenue streams. The metaverse could redefine how we watch football. Imagine putting on a VR headset and experiencing a live game from the comfort of your living room, with a virtual seat that feels like you're right there in the stands. For clubs, this means untapped opportunities to monetize virtual tickets, exclusive experiences, and even digital collectibles. Fans could interact with players virtually, attend post-match conferences, or explore the club's training facilities, all from their devices. Then there's blockchain technology, which is already reshaping fan engagement. Platforms like Socios are enabling fans to buy fan tokens that give them voting rights on certain club decisions, from jersey designs to preseason tour destinations. This creates a deeper connection between fans and clubs, turning supporters into stakeholders. However, while the tech is exciting, clubs must tread carefully. Not every innovation lands well. Just ask the clubs that faced backlash over poorly executed NFT projects. Emerging markets are the next big frontier for football. Regions like India, Africa, and the United States are becoming crucial for the sport's global growth. Take India, a country with a massive population and growing interest in football. Clubs like Manchester United and Liverpool have already established academies there, investing in grassroots development to tap into this vast potential fan base. In Africa, clubs are scouting more than just talent. They're building academies to nurture future stars. Look at Ajax Cape Town or Barcelona's academy in Senegal. Both are pipelines for world-class talent. These initiatives aren't just about philanthropy. They're long-term investments in the sport's growth and the club's global reach. And then there's the United States, a sleeping giant for football. With the success of the MLS and the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup co-hosted by the US, expect clubs to focus heavily on this market. From partnerships with local teams to pre-season tours, the US represents an untapped goldmine for the football business. Developing local talent isn't just good for football, it's good for business. Clubs like Ajax and Borussia Dortmund have built reputations and profits by investing in youth academies. Here's how it works. Identify young talent, provide world-class training, and integrate them into the first team. Then, when the time is right, sell these players for massive profits. It's a strategy that has seen Ajax churn out stars like Frenkie de Jong and Matthijs de Ligt, generating hundreds of millions in transfer revenue. But it's not just about selling players. Homegrown stars resonate with fans and embody the club's identity, creating a stronger bond between the team and its supporters. In the future, football clubs will need to be more fan-centric than ever before. Personalized experiences, both online and offline, will be the norm. Imagine receiving a birthday message from your favorite player or having a custom virtual tour of the club's facilities tailored just for you. Clubs are leveraging data to create unique experiences that foster loyalty and deepen engagement. Beyond personalization, clubs are focusing on inclusivity. Initiatives to make stadiums more accessible, family-friendly zones, and affordable ticketing options ensure that football remains the people's game. So, what does the future of football look like? It's one of innovation, sustainability, and global expansion. From eco-friendly stadiums to digital fan engagement and tapping into emerging markets, football clubs are evolving to meet the challenges of tomorrow. The clubs that adapt quickly and effectively to these changes won't just survive. They'll thrive, shaping the future of the sport we all love. And that, my friends, wraps up our deep dive into the business of football. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going.